Good evening. I am CJ Padarano of NeitherArtOrLife.com. Tonight, I am joined by my cousin Carlo, a senior high art teacher, to discuss one of the most famous paintings in art history. It's one of the most well-known, and it is the subject of my new article. Uh, my new article is an introduction to this piece, explaining its context, its meanings, its techniques, and the symbolisms behind this. And tonight we're going to delve into some more obscure facts regarding this masterpiece by Van Gogh. So first, I would like to ask you, CJ, what's your first impression about this painting? We know this, uh, at, uh, during our elementary days. We're quite familiar with this piece, but without, when you first saw this painting, what came to your mind?
Oh, okay. So, this painting, I was familiar with this way back, no, as you have said, way back as a kid, elementary, junior high school days, no, our student days. But most especially, I am familiar with this because this is also, no, or this is the favorite painting
Mm,
by no other than Neil deGrasse Tyson. No?
mm,
The famous, most beloved, no, American astrophysicist of our time. So in fact, when there's an interview of him, so at the background of his interview, there's a painting of Starry Night.
mm. Meron
Okay,
din siyang
so
merch.
yes, meron din
Fun
siyang
talaga
merch,
siya,
no?
fun talaga siya.
Yes, very fun of this painting. And the I would say my first impression with this painting is astronomy, no?
Astronomy.
About the celestial, no?
Mm,
Celestial objects, no?
mm,
Celestial objects, in particular the stars and the planets, no? So with regards to that, let's have this yung nandito sa isa sa part ng painting, which is yung turbulence, no?
mm.
In this case, yung turbulence, we call this, or in astronomy, this is known as the atmospheric turbulence. And uh, earlier, I saw a recently published video of NBC News about Starry
Regarding
Night.
meron?
Yes,
Latest lang? Latest?
yes, latest,
Okay.
7 hours ago. So
After ko ma-share sa'yo yung yung article.
it's been 7 hours ago nung pinublish nila.
Hmm,
Okay, so by that, it was proven by the field of astronomy and physics that the atmospheric turbulence here in this painting really reflects the deep interest of Van Gogh with
hmm,
regards to with regards to cosmology,
hmm,
okay, or the stars, astronomy, no, planetary science in general. Even though, even though, Van Gogh hasn't don't have an idea about the intricacy of mathematics behind
correct.
the atmospheric turbulence. So he showed a great interest on it, no? Since etong painting na to, no? It was painted way back 1889. So ito yung pininting niya habang siya ay nasa bintana ng kanyang bahay. Okay. So while having a
From an ano
scenic
pala, Jay?
yes.
Asylum. From an asylum. Not
Yes.
bahay. Hmm.
Yeah, asylum rather. So scenic view, no? Scenic view niya yung night sky. Kaya nga nagkaroon siya ng title itself, which is
Hmm.
Starry Night. So another
Hmm.
one is merong book si Neil deGrasse Tyson. Starry Messenger yung title.
Hmm.
So one of the inspiration for it is no other than the Starry Night. So in other words, when I encountered this painting, I always reminded of astronomy,
Astronomy and
which is all
science. Mm.
yes, which is also one of my interests aside from my expertise, which is history, and the other one is philosophy.
Yun nga, yun nga. That's the ano, that's the thing, 'di ba? That's the thing with art eh. Kung
Yes.
parang kung saan ka background galing, doon mo siya i-interpret. And from a scientist perspective, from a person who reads science, 'di ba? Yan talaga yung makikita eh. That's what I also expect eh. Even in sa ibang
Mm,
tao na inclined din sa science and then they'll see this painting, they'll think it's about mainly about the night sky, mainly about astronomy. But yun nga, as you said, Van Gogh is not ano, is not a scientist obviously. But he's an observer of the cosmos, and that's what we'll talk about more in the once we go into the painting's context. But on my side naman, on my first impression from this painting, ito talaga eh, this is a proof na iba-iba talaga ang interpretation.
yes.
For me sa akin yung before ko siya i-dive, i-research talaga ng maayos. Ang connotation ko dito sa painting na 'to para siyang ano, para siyang alam mo yun, may pagka-dark ano siya, pagka-dark theme. Para siyang I'm seeing glimpses ng parang ano eh, I don't know if you'll be able to see this also. Para siyang ma-hint siya ng witchcraft. I don't know if you'll agree with
Mm-hmm.
that. Para siyang gano'n eh,
Yeah.
para siyang ano,
Yeah.
para siyang
I would
'di ba?
I would say I would say yung isa sa mga primarily reason for that is yung nandito sa left side ng painting.
Yeah, the
Ah,
cypress. We'll talk about that
yes.
as we
Yeah.
go along. Yun yung ano ko, para siyang siyempre yung night theme and then yung cypress obviously.
Mm.
Yung at first glance yun yung ano ko, yun yung connotation ko sa kanya. Para siyang ano, para siyang dark painting, yun yung una ko in-expect. Para siyang about theme ng ano, ng yun nga, darkness and
Hmm.
ah, parang ano bang tawag, ano bang word dito? Para siyang ano, may pagka-wicked, gano'n. And
Oo.
siyempre na-realize ko rin kung saan naman galing yung connotation na yun. Galing siya dahil not entirely about siya sa witchcraft, but siguro kaya nagkagano'n, may gano'ng connotation, may gano'ng impression is because nasa asylum siya eh. Ginawa niya 'to eh. Tapos meron siyang mental disorder. So siguro
Yeah.
nag-ano siya,
Yeah.
nag-project dito sa ginawa niyang painting. And let's move to the context nitong Starry Night. Uh, Yun we have shared na this was made in an asylum kung saan
Yeah.
nagstay si Van Gogh
Mm.
uh, for ano I guess 1 year eh. After niya nung away nila ni Paul Gauguin
Si Paul
sa
Gauguin.
Arles. Oh, and then yung naputol yung tenga niya, pinutol niya yung tenga niya. After nung
Ah,
incident na yun, famous incident na yun, nag-self ano siya, uh, pumunta siya dun sa asylum ng kusa and then dun siya
yes.
nag-stay. And then hindi naman siya nalimit sa artistic ano niya, sa artistic pursuits niya dun. Meron siyang sariling room, meron siyang sariling studio aside pa dun sa room niya and malaya siyang maglakad-lakad sa ano, lakad sa
Yes.
paligid ng asylum. And then dun sa while staying in the asylum, siyempre marami siyang team na ginagawa, yung famous nga yung
Mm.
Whitfields, yung famous din itong Cypress. And then itong inspiration behind this Starry Night, galing siya sa observation niya sa ano, sa sky. Hindi siya, kahit nga yung title niya Starry Night, hindi siya night eh. It's dawn, early morning.
Early morning.
Itong ano, itong light na 'to, nakikita mo 'to, Jay, itong light sa ano, sa taas ng bundok, yung ano
Mm.
na 'yan, ano siya, eh, light of dawn siya, eh, bago siya mag-sunrise. And then na-support pa yung claim na yun dahil nga itong katabi ng cypress na color white, that is Venus.
Ah,
So, 'di ba, the morning star,
Yes, the planet
the
Venus.
morning, 'di
Morning,
ba?
also known as the morning and the evening star.
Morning, evening star. And yun, dun nila na ano, dun nila na ano ng mga experts na it is indeed a dawn scene, not a starry night. But yung dun naman sa evidences regarding this, dahil nga sa correspondence nila nung kuya niya, famous correspondence, yung dun sa letters, marami siyang parang hints nung inspiration niya regarding this, kasama nga dun yung lagi niyang pagtingin sa window and then yung pag-observe niya ng stars. And
Yes.
before this nocturne scene, before this, meron din siya ibang ginawang nocturnes. No, sa Arl niya ginawa, yung before siya pumunta dun sa asylum. And yun, nag-experiment siya dun. Meron yung isa, Starry Night din yung title which is hindi ko na na-include dun sa article. And meron din yung isa
Mm.
pang famous, yung cafe, night cafe. Meron din tong parang study ng mga stars. So parang dito niya nilagay lahat, parang dito niya inano yung mga practice paintings na yun, dito niya kinulminate. And I'm sure nabasa mo na yung article, pero nung 'di ba, nung shinare niya 'to sa kapatid niya, tingin niya dito failure. Tingin niya dito,
Yes, yes,
ah,
yes.
hindi niya inakalang magiging masterpiece 'to, ma-interpret siya as masterpiece. Kasi siya, essentially experimental piece siya, eh. Kasi as avant-garde siya, nag-experiment siya ng techniques. So,
Mm.
ito yung na-come up niya and di niya in-expect na it will have any merit, any value. So,
Mm.
'yan kita naman sa nung parang putting it into context ng time niya, eh. Parang imagine niya, kasi nung time na yun 'di ba, 1800s, late 1800s,
Ah.
hindi pa gaanong accepted yung gan'tong technique, which is yung post-impressionism. They are rebels. So nung time na yun hindi siya na-interpret, and yun nga lang, kaya na siya naging popular is after niyang mamatay, and dun na nakita yung genius ni Van Gogh. So,
Anyway,
in your case,
anyway, yeah. Anyway, before you continue, I just reminded dun sa statement mo na at first glance, it was foolish, no?
hmm,
It was foolish, so it will not amount to anything.
ah,
So in the field of science, no? In the field of science, in the field of science, we have this so-called, if the theory is not absurd, then there's no hope for it.
hmm.
So when Einstein introduced relativity, it is really absurd. So
Okay.
uh, afterwards,
Dun lang.
afterward, yes, afterwards, the hope, no, the hope for it, no, uh, science is cumulative, no, increasing in degree, quantity, and force. So over time, it was proven over and over again. So just like sa painting.
Yun nga, 'di ba? Ah, para siyang 'di ba? Breaking the convention. And
Yes, yes.
'di ba, ganun siya kaano, eh. In art ganun, and siyempre in science din, as you said, ganun din yung nangyayari. Pero yun nga, kung i-interpret mo siya nung 1800s, it may seem absurd kasi hindi pa siya talaga na-accept, dahil nga, I mean, like, napausbong nung time na na-release naman 'to, na-release na yung Impressionism, which we'll get to into a minute. Pero
Yes.
nung time na 'to, wala talagang pumapansin kay Van Gogh. Walang
Mhm,
bumibili ng
mhm.
painting niya, and meron nga ring claim na yung nabenta niya lang sa buong buhay niya, isang painting lang, which is a portrait, I think. And ito, walang umaano, para siyang at that point creating art for art's sake, eh. As
Yes.
post-impressionism, and yung sacrifice niya naman is yun, nagbunga. And unfortunately nga lang na-appreciate yung works niya after niya mamatay. And let's talk about the techniques behind this painting. Nung na-release 'tong painting na 'to, 1889, nung nagawa niya, meron ng
1889.
movement nun na impressionism. Yun nga yung impressionism yung main characteristic niya is itong yung impasto technique, which is itong mga brush strokes na 'to na para siyang
Yes,
'di ba,
yes.
parang inano lang quick strokes lang
Quick,
to create. Ang pinagkaiba lang nila kay Van Gogh. Si Van Gogh hindi siya strictly ano, impressionist, eh. Although inspired siya ng impressionism dahil nga diyan sa mga brush strokes na 'yan. Ah, Naging acquainted siya sa mga impressionist nung pumunta siya sa Paris. Naging acquainted siya
mm,
sa works nila Monet, nila Pissarro, dun yung nakita. Ang pinagkaiba nitong mga works ni Van Gogh, especially dito sa pinaka-pronounce dito sa Starry Night, yung Impressionism, ang ang dine-depict nila sa mga pictures is yung impressions ng light, ng ilaw. Kaya yung mga painting
mm,
nila, mga
yeah,
open area,
mm,
'di ba? And kung yung impression sa mata nung ilaw, yung parang 'di ba nagbo-blur siya, yun yung gusto nilang editing. Ilaw lang, yung epekto ng ilaw kaya para siyang dreamlike, 'di ba, yung mga paintings na impressionist. Sa case ni Van Gogh, siya yung pinaka siya yung pinakaunang nag-depict, gumamit ng style na yun, pag-depict ng light, hindi strictly mag-depict ng light. Ang ginawa niya, imbis na light, hinaluan niya ng subjective elements, which is yung nga yung emotion. Alam mo yun, 'di ba?
mm. Well, yeah.
Itong mga stars, hindi naman talaga ganyan pagkabilog talaga, eh. Although may impression, pero meron hinaluan niya na siya ng personal, ng subjective interpretation. Ito rin,
Yes.
itong Venus
In
din, 'di
fact,
ba?
yes.
And
In
yung
fact,
turbulence, 'di ba?
yeah, the one that the one that I mentioned earlier. In fact, he was really focusing on nature. That's why nakapag-create nga siya ng a painting like this because he was a keen observer of nature.
Hmm,
But eventually, he turned his attention to expressionism, which
hmm,
is
yun.
binabanggit
That's the
mo
term.
right now. From being objective, which is the stars, the planets,
Hmm,
no? Naging subjective siya, no? Kalaunan. So, I would say, makikita natin dun yung dalawang nag interplay, no? There's an interplay of subjectivity and objectivity,
hmm,
which, as an art teacher, yun yung ine-emphasize ko sa mga students ko na art is both subjective and objective.
yun nga. Ang imagine if ginawa 'to ni Van Gogh, kung ano talaga yung nakita niya.
Mm.
It would lose its, alam mo yun, yung liveliness niya. Hindi siya
Yes, yes.
magiging ganito, eh. Hindi siya magiging ganito yung effect, eh. Para siya magiging dull, 'di ba? Ganun din yung ganun yung magiging effect kapag hindi siya ginawang expressionism or impressionist style, eh. And that's the problem nga rin kaya sila nag-shift sa post-impressionism and impressionism dahil nga yung art movements before kay Van Gogh is yung classicism,
Mm.
which is defined by accuracy of detail, accuracy of forms, and yan, they
Ah,
want to break through that convention. So, and regarding naman sa elements nitong The Starry Night. Before mo mabasa yung article, do you know na this piece is not the exact view sa window ni Van Gogh? Na,
yes, yes, yes.
oo, yun 'di ba?
Ah,
Hindi siya exact.
mm,
Itong village, wala siya dun sa window niya.
mm.
That's an
Wala sa
imaginary.
window.
And then obviously itong wind, itong mistra sa gitna, yung whirl, it's it's an imaginary depiction. Ah, hindi kasi wala ka namang makikitang ganyan, 'di ba? Hindi naman talaga siya
Mm,
magsi-swirl, it's an imaginative
mm.
expression. And then, yung ring moon, hindi rin siya crescent na-prove din ng mga astronomers. It's a waning gibbous. Hindi
Yes,
siya
yes.
hindi siya crescent na ganito. And then yung yung true elements lang in this painting is yung hills sa likod. Meron talaga siya. Alpines is called Alpines, French mountain range. And then itong view ng cypresses, which is maraming cypresses dun sa paligid ng asylum na tinuloyan niya. And then yung light ng dun, as we mentioned kanina, is andun
Ah,
talaga no, sa view na nakita niya. Kaya siya, yun yung mga accurate element dito. And then ito rin pala, sa baba ng hills, yung olive trees. Yun din, nandun din siya, yung view. So, ano siya eh, hindi talaga siya depiction. It's a landscape, but hindi
ah,
siya accurate. So, yun nga, isa yun sa, ano, sa trait na expressionism, adding your own elements to your paintings, kahit subjective. And that trait na mention natin, itong yung imagination, and then observation, and then yung mga contortions, itong mga brushstrokes, that defined the post-impressionism movement and
mm. Which is
inspired
pioneer,
uh,
pioneer si Van Gogh.
and inspired expressionism. Uh,
Mm.
and then regarding the meanings, Jay, before parang kasama dun sa impressionism kasi you explain na yung ano niya, yung scientific
Ah,
interpretation. Pero meron ka ba bang before mo share article or parang part ng connotation mo, meron ka bang
ah,
nalamang uh, symbolism behind this or meaning?
ayan. So, yes, historically speaking, yung mental illness ni Van Gogh
Hmm,
was a very good example why he painted Starry Night. Okay. So, if we
psychology.
yes, human psychology. If we're going to have a in-depth analysis of this, yung mismong casual and then in-depth. From casual magiging turning into in-depth ah, analysis. Makikita natin dito na in a way gulo-gulo. Okay?
Oo, I get it. Para siyang
Yes,
reflection.
chaotic.
Yun nga.
Ah, reflection siya nung human psychology na in general, but at the same time, reflection siya ng I would say mental health ni Van
Hmm,
Gogh. So, aside from the cosmic perspective, which I mentioned earlier, isa yun sa mga nagpukaw ng attention ko or nagre-remind sa akin every time na na-encounter ko tong painting na 'to. So, it's like showing to the world na ganito yung nangyayari sa akin 'no. It's like Van Gogh saying, "Ito yung nangyayari sa kaloob-looban ng aking, ah,
inspiration.
yes, particularly nervous system." Na meron siyang touch ng, the harsh realities of life.
Hmm.
Okay. So, yeah, that's the other one that I
Struggles.
could the harsh realities of life itself, 'no. So, I would say that's the other one na pinaka na pumupukaw ng attention ko every time na na-e-encounter ko 'tong
Hmm,
painting niya.
yun nga yun.
And aside from that, yung ito nga yung simbahan dito which is minention mo rin dun sa writing mo. So, it is indeed a complex interplay between religion, cosmology, and then yung human psychology. So, regarding dito sa simbahan dito, aside from aside aside from the fact na he was raised in Catholic doctrine, no? So, meron tayong makikita dito na we can at least notice na even though kahit na gulong-gulo na siya sa buhay niya kung ano ba talaga yung gusto niyang gawin, no? Chaotic mess yung kanyang buhay. I would say na again, this is religious perspective. Dahil nga religion gives comfort. Okay. So in a way, nape-prevent yung attempt to do something bad sa sarili niya or di kaya naman sa mga tao na nasa paligid niya. But ultimately, as we know, at nagpakamatay naman kasi talaga siya, no? So that's a
Yun nga,
tragic end. So yeah, that's a
yun nga,
tragic end.
yun nga. Bale, sa interpretation ngayon nitong Starry Night, there are three main themes na pinopurport na three perspectives that we can interpret this post-impressionist work. Yung una, yun nga, you have touched it upon it already, is sa religion.
Ah,
Um, itong before I mentioned it dun sa article, before si Van Gogh maging artist, I think meron siyang 4 na triny na career. And before siya maging artist, he tried to be a preacher katulad ng
preacher.
papa niya. Katulad ng
Mm,
katulad ng papa niya. And dito sa Starry Night, expressed 'yun through this church. Yun nga, as you mentioned, tama, through this church. And
mm,
see that, 'di ba, I think napansin mo rin naman 'to, eh, yung cypress sa harap and then yung church sa likod, parehas
mm.
silang pointing upward, 'di ba? And
Oo, oo.
sa interpretation naman nun, ah, they point to heaven. Yun yung interpretation nila.
Mm,
And
mm.
itong cypress tree, in Europe, they represent death.
Death,
Kasi
death.
they're found in cemeteries.
Yes.
Ah, and then ito namang sky is it is interpreted as Van Gogh's ideal of heaven, kung ano sa tingin niya yung heaven,
Oo.
expressed in an artistic manner.
Mm,
And therefore, itong dalawang pointing upwards na elements, they represent Van Gogh's yearning to get to heaven, to get to this
mm,
ideal state of mind, ideal comfort.
mm,
And that expressed his religious views, his religious
mm.
upbringing, diyan sa dalawang element na yan. And eto hindi ko 'to na-mention sa article, eh, kasi, ah, medyo yung account niya medyo malabo pa, eh. Pero sabi ng ibang critics, this painting, bukod dun sa personal interpretation ni Van Gogh ng religion, inspired din siya ng passage sa Genesis, which is about Joseph the Dreamer. And dun sinabi
Hmm,
niya, meron siyang quote na, wait lang, check ko lang, meron siyang quote regarding 11 stars, eh, which is para siyang dun daw kinuha ni Van Gogh kung bakit may 11 stars. Well, obviously,
ah,
hindi naman talaga 11 yung stars dito kasi yung isa Venus, bale 10 lang yung stars.
yes.
Pero
Ah,
para siyang
and it's a
para siyang
planet. And it's a
well,
planet.
oo, yun nga. Para siyang sa interpretation lang, sa raw interpretation, gano'n yung sinabi nila. And ito yung quote, maikli lang naman siya sa Genesis. I have dreamed more, and behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obeisance to me, which is from Genesis chapter 37 verse 9. Ang
Ah,
prophetic dun, prophetic din siya, may pagka-prophetic rin siya. Kasi sabi dun sa
mm,
story, di ba, kay Joseph, binetray siya ng mga kapatid niya. And then, ang prophecy ni Joseph is, in the end, mag-o-obey sa kanya yung mga kapatid niya, which is nangyari nga, di ba? Dahil dun sa
mm.
after nun, dun sa Egypt, yung nangyari sa Egypt, yung about sa king ng Egypt, tatulungan niya dahil sa prophetic
Yes.
vision niya.
Ah,
And then, in the end, siya yung umangat sa society, and then na parang yung mga kapatid niya hindi ina-expect na magiging gano'n siya. And parang yun, dun daw kinuha ni Van Gogh itong element kaya may 11 stars. But in another interpretation na nakita ko, besides dun, may interpretation siya regarding sa Hindi ko alam kung subconsciously ginawa niya, pero yung sinasabing 11 stars and the moon and the sun will obey me, para siyang subliminal message sa mga critics ni Van Gogh na
Oo.
there will come a time na they'll appreciate his work. And 'di ba, nangyari nga. Nangyari nga
Yes,
siya.
nangyari nga.
Para siyang ano, prophecy. Pero that's a faint account sa ngayon. Hindi ko naman siya masyadong deny, na touch upon ko lang siya saglit. Kaya hindi ko na siya sinama dun sa blog post. So, regarding another perspective, yung nasabi mo science, pag-usapan na natin.
Mm.
Etong nasa gitna, yung whirlpool is inspired by astronomy,
Mm.
specifically by a sketch from 1845
Oo.
regarding about a whirlpool galaxy, an early sketch of a whirlpool galaxy. And
Mm.
obviously nagsi-circulate na yun nung time na yun, and then Van Gogh could have
Yes.
seen it and then express it in the painting. And the other, another account din kung ano daw inspired itong ano na to, itong wheel sa gitna. They claim that it's inspired by the Great Wave. Itong nasa
Yeah,
gitna.
yung coming from Japan.
Ano siya yung part ng Great Wave dito, ito nga obviously para nga siyang wave. Pero si Van Gogh kasi ano siya, fan siya ng Japanese art. Nagko-collect siya ng Japanese print simula nung
Mm.
naging craze siya sa Europe during the 1800s, 'di ba? Yung
Oo.
Japonisme period.
Mm.
Inspired din si Van Gogh dun. Itong gantong structure ng painting, yung parang nahaharangan yung view nitong cypress.
Oo.
Hindi siya European element eh. Ano siya, Japanese element. Itong
Mm.
gantong pag-construct ng painting. Yung 'di ba, may malaking ano sa foreground. Sa Japanese yan, Japanese yung pag-structure, pag-format ng painting. So, inspired siya ng Japanese. So, it could be, malaki rin yung chance talaga na inspired to ng The Great Wave or in general ng Japanese
Oo.
art. And the last, of course, you have already shared din kanina, it's a reflection of Van Gogh psychology. Yun
Oo.
din naman yung connotation regarding this painting. It's a connotation ng unstable mental health niya. So, itong town, it is a reflection of his hometown sa Netherlands. Para siyang longing bumalik sa buhay niya dun, and
Longing for
then
hope. Oo.
longing for hope, and then yung church is modeled din sa churches sa Netherlands. So,
Mm.
yung part na yun is again another reflection of his psychology. And then the last na concept na ang nire-reflect nito ay yung psychology ni Van Gogh is regarding mhm, regarding the light. Itong mga lights na 'to, itong starlight, and then kung itong mapapansin mo, yung mga bahay sa baba, yung sa town, may mga ilaw din sila. May mga ilaw din sila, at I'm sure nakita mo rin 'yan sa
Oo.
breakdown, sa article. Etong ilaw sa baba, they represent hospitality, comfort, gano'n, part rin siya ng
Mm.
psychology. And
Ano
then
siya, refuge siya sa mga dun sa mga taong kagaya niya na merong mental breakdown.
gano'n, 'di ba? Marami talaga, makikita mo talaga siya ng psychology talaga, marami talagang elements. And then, yung faint light na yan, they contrast yung mga ilaw sa taas, which is representing light amidst darkness.
Mm.
So, hope, another symbolism for hope. So,
A
yun,
beacon of hope.
dalawa sila, puro light. And siguro, I think, sa nakikita ko ngayon, parang yun yung main theme niya, yung ilaw, yung ano niya,
Mm.
yung aura, dun nanggagaling yung ano niya, considering all the perspective na deny na
Hmm.
na breakdown natin, dun nanggagaling yung ano, eh, 'no, yung ano niya, yung sabihin natin yung aura or yung effect. It's a bright it's a starry night, but ang liwanag niya, eh, 'no, it's a bright painting dahil nga dito sa mga
Hmm.
stars na 'to, and I think that emphasizes yung longing talaga ni Van Gogh for hope, which yun nga, para siyang unfortunately naging ano siya, parang last glimpse ni Van Gogh dun sa hope na yun, kasi 1 year later, yun nga, nag-suicide siya, nag-suicide siya.
Suicide
Para
siya.
siyang last
Hmm.
glimpse ng psychology.
Yun nga, yun nga, yun
Mm.
nga. Very much indeed. Yung binabanggit mo kanina na yung sa Whirlpool Galaxy, ano. So, merong sketch coming from 1845. And this is also the time, this is the timeline, or I would say this is the, uh, again, the timeline or the historical na period of Van Gogh. So this is the time when astronomers like Pierre Simon Laplace, no, and others are discovering nebulas and other galaxies. So by that, makikita natin na mas dumadagdag yung inspirasyon niya habang ginagawa niya 'to is because simultaneously, astronomers like Pierre Simon Laplace, known for the nebular theory, was discovering things astronomical. So it's like nagpipinta siya nito, nagpo-formulate siya ng idea about this. Dumadagdag yung kanyang additional motivation, to be more specific, is because this is also the time when astronomers are discovering, no? So those things. And also I would like to add yung binanggit mo dito sa church tsaka dito sa crypt, no? So yung crypt is pointing to death and the church is pointing to the heavens, to the sky.
Salvation.
Yeah, yeah, salvation, no? So I reminded of Galileo's famous saying. According to him, science teaches us, no, how the heavens go.
Mm.
Okay, not how to go to heaven.
Scientific
Okay,
perspective,
so because how to go to heaven is a domain for religion.
religious, yun nga, yun.
Okay. So by that, sobrang powerful nung pinoportray niya na complex interplay of faith, and science, and at the same time yung uh, innate human nature,
Psychology.
which which is yung field ng psychology. Now, although may psychology naman, there's already psychology na there's already findings. It goes back to Aristotle and Plato. But during this time, no? During this time nung early stages ni Vincent Van Gogh, wala pa naman nito si Sigmund Freud or si Carl Jung.
Hmm,
Okay,
oo.
so late
Ano
late
pa
na
lang,
sila dumating.
growing pa lang yung psychology nung
Yes.
time na yun.
Okay, so it's still on its infancy yung psychology nung early stages ng buhay ni Vincent Van Gogh. So makikita natin dun yung chronological harmonious relationship between science, faith, and psychology.
Yun nga, yun nga. That's the good thing sa ginawa niya, sa post-impressionist, sa rebel niya. If nag-adhere siya or nag-adhere yung mga post-impressionists sa classicism nung time na yun, sa strict standards, they won't be able to do that, yung ganong interplay.
Mm.
Kasi ang dominant dun, historical painting, allegorical painting. They
Yes.
won't be able to
Yes.
do these things. That's why siguro mga artists para siya lang mediums for human expression. they try to find a way to find more uh types of expression, which led to paintings like this, like the Starry Night. So yun nga, after mag-suicide ni Van Gogh, yung paintings niya napunta sa kapatid niya, which is very
Mm.
close sa kanya, si Theo, an art dealer. And unfortunately, 6 months later namatay din si Theo. Ang claims ba't siya namatay dahil daw sa sakit, pinaghalo-halong sakit and grief sa pagkamatay ng kapatid niya. And siguro yun, sadness in general, kaya siya namatay. And then after nun, yung mga works ni Van Gogh, which numbers thousands, is napunta sa care ng asawa ni Theo, which is si Johanna Van Bonger. Siya na yung nag-spread ng acclaim ni Van Gogh. Siya rin yung nag-compile ng letters ng magkapatid and publish it. And in general, siya yung sa kanya ina-attribute yung uh, posthumous fame ni Van Gogh. And
Mhm.
after nun, after 1889 nung after nung namatay si Van Gogh, naging owners itong specifically itong Starry Night.
Ah,
Until in 1941 nakuha siya
binili.
ng
Pinurchase
na
siya ng
purchase siya sa
ah,
MoMA,
New York.
sa
That's in New
Museum
York.
of Modern
New
Art sa
York.
New York, which hanggang ngayon nandun siya. And ito yung pinaka-famous nilang piece. And ito rin yung
Yes, yes.
pinakamahal. Uh,
Yes, yes.
I think yung estimate price pa rin nito ngayon 100 million. But
Ah,
generally, mga masterpiece na ganito, they're priceless. So you
yes, yes,
can
yes.
the only time will tell kung magbabago yun yung
Mm.
regarding sa price niya. Pero itong masterpiece na ganito na pinaghalo-halong psychology, religion, and uh, science, and yung
Ah,
contribution niya groundbreaking sa art, na art movement, groundbreaking na piece is from the perspective of someone who appreciates art, or from the perspective ng artist, ano talaga siya, this is a priceless piece. And
mm.
after nga nun, dun na rin nag-gain yung popularity niya sa MoMA. And then nakita siya ng mga artists, and then after na nag-rose na nga yung expressionism, nung 20th century, early 20th century, dun na nagkaroon pa ng ibang, nag-ignite yung ibang movement such as expressionism, abstract expressionism, and other art movements like Fauvism, mga avant-garde movements. Dahil sa piece na 'to, not specifically just in the Star Night, but it's para siyang landmark work that
Ah,
instigated yung mga movements ng 20th century. So, um, yun, in conclusion in this piece, as you said, it's an amalgamation of Van Gogh's psychology, upbringing, religion, and science. And for me, that's what makes it great. Yung interplay ng lahat ng yun, and then you see it in a single artwork. That's powerful. That's inspiring. Not just for
mm.
artists, not just for painters, but for people who want to understand art or understand life in general. This is
Yes, yes.
one of my, hindi ko siya personally favorite, but I see its importance. I recognize its value.
Mhm, mhm. Very, very much indeed, no? So, with regards dun sa you have said yung importance niya na as time goes by, na-appreciate yung majesty ng Starry Night and yung genius behind it, no? So, we have mentioned before, and we talk about this before, personally, na with regards sa art, kapag nalaman, or at least, kapag certain ng ah, ng mga tao kung sino yung nagpinta is tumataas yung value. So just like dun sa case ni Da Vinci sa Salvator Mundi. Pero itong case naman ni Van Gogh, makikita natin dito na alam naman nila from the very start na si Van Gogh yung gumawa and it was proven. But during that time, it was declined. Okay? Tinake for granted siya. And not until, or yeah, not until it was proven how remarkable it is to us today, no? Or for humans to appreciate such masterpiece, no? Having this comparison with the great Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo, no? So it's like having an archive of uh, art piece that will continue to resonate for many years to come.
Yun nga. It's a landmark work. It's a landmark work. That's why yun nga, that's why I wrote about it in the first place. I want to know more about it and I want to share about it to people. So that's our talk
Ah,
for breaking down the Starry Night. Uh, I am CJ Paderogao and I invite you to
mhm.
visit my website, Neither Art Nor Life. Um, you can visit it through the link in my Facebook post, which also contains my latest article regarding the Starry Night.
Mhm.
And besides that,
Yes, yes.
you can also check Neither Art Nor Life's Instagram. You can check Neither Art Nor Life Twitter and my ad my other post on Facebook for the other art
Yes.
articles that I'll post in Neither Art Nor Life. And besides this, I'm planning to do more articles on art, so stay tuned for that. And if you have something to promote, Jay, you go ahead.
Yes, there is. So, um, it's been a decade since I started to have a deep interest with these things. No? Something to do with truth is slash reality. So I want to promote my page, which is Fetizanism. So it offers one-on-one tutorial on subjects related to humanities and social sciences, which includes art. No? So that name, if for the sake of the listeners, they are wondering where does it came from. So it's basically my school of thought. It's basically my philosophy in life. Okay. So again, Fitizanism on Facebook. You can search it directly on Facebook. It offers one-on-one tutorials on subjects related to humanities and social sciences. And then you can also visit or if you have free time, to visit our channel on Spotify. Okay, which is Neither Art Nor Life, and then Intellectually Fulfilled.
I forgot,
So,
sa YouTube rin
mhm,
pala. You can also check
yes,
Neither Art Nor Life sa YouTube. I'm planning to do films, but for now, let's see kung anong mapoproduce
yes,
ko.
yes.
But that's it. I'm CJ Fadorga of Neither Art Nor Life, joined by my cousin Carlo, a senior high teacher on art. And stay tuned as I create more writings, more films, or more talks with intellectuals and artists to help people understand art's nature. That's it. Good night.